Hey everybody, welcome to the Prolonged Engagement Show. This is episode 29.
Yay!
As always, you are greeted with the greatest two people to ever come out of the prolongedengagement.com, Kyle.
And Sarah.
And you can follow us on Twitter. I'm at Sound Overlord. Sarah's
At the Dark Raven 13.
You can follow the show at TPE_show. You can like us on Facebook at facebook.com/theprolongedengagement. YouTube.com/theprolongedengagement show. Theprolongedengagement.com. We're on YouTube and iTunes, all the good stuff.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. What are we doing today? Oh, that's right. We're talking about your stinky old birthday. So, on June 29th, which is Sarah's birthday, we ended up going to Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex.
Well, that's what I wanted.
Which is in Cape Canaveral, Florida. It's on the very east coast of Florida.
Do you know why they did that?
You drive east of Orlando.
You know why they did that?
Because no one lives there.
A. And B, they had plenty of land to safely launch off the rockets.
Mm-hmm.
The more you know.
So, we had not been there since, God,
8th
forever.
grade?
Well, I know that we were in there. We were there in 7th or 8th grade or whatever. I remember the Saturn V rocket.
Yeah, but I
complex.
did not remember the other one.
Yeah, I didn't remember the other one at all.
Was that bad?
The main complex thing? I didn't remember that at all.
I felt like that had changed
It either had
much.
changed astronomically, or I just flat out didn't remember it, period.
Yeah. Which is very bad in me.
I feel like we just saw the Saturn V, and that was it.
Yes.
At any rate, we had not been there since they had killed the
space shuttle
program. So we have seen one of the
shuttles up here.
The shuttles here at the Udvar Hazy Air and Space Museum,
which we talked about.
We talked about in one of these episodes.
I don't know off the top of my head.
I don't remember either.
Sorry.
And their Discovery was there, right?
Yes.
Okay. So there were 6 in total, 5 that were actually working because the Enterprise was a test shuttle. It never went into space.
Yes, but then 2 blew up.
Right. So there are 4 left.
Yes.
That are on display.
Yes.
The Enterprise is at the Intrepid in New York City. Discovery is at Udvar Hazy.
The Enterprise is at
the Intrepid in New York City.
Is that the name of that one?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the
No, I meant is that the name of the museum?
Yeah, it's called the USS Intrepid. That's
the
museum.
Okay.
Yeah,
sorry.
New York. Discovery is at Udvar Hazy. Endeavor is at the California Museum of Science.
Yes.
Yes, in I think it's in LA. Maybe in San Diego.
Yeah, it's one of those 2. It's in the southern area.
I think it's in San Diego. Don't quote me on that. And then number 4 is Atlantis at Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex. Yeah. So, we had not seen Atlantis, and like I said, the last time I remember going to KSC was in that 8th grade field trip. I swear that we went. Another time. We never
went in high school.
I swear that we went some other time.
Alfie.
But yeah, like I said, I cannot remember for the life of me.
Thank you.
At any rate, so this is the first time that we saw the space shuttle there,
or went on the experience.
Oh yeah, because they have a new space shuttle experience.
It's cute.
Yeah, it's
Give it a shot.
Yeah.
If
you're going, you should definitely go on.
Do it. Give it a shot.
I mean,
it's so cute.
There's not much to. It's pretty. KSC is not a theme park.
No, it is an educational center.
It's really an educational center, and half museum,
and half memorial.
Yeah, and half memorial. Well, I wouldn't say half memorial. partially.
It's a lot memorial.
But so this was actually like one of the coolest things that we did.
It was the coolest
like,
reveal
the whole time
I've
that
ever
we were there.
seen by a museum.
Seriously, if you were in Central Florida at any time in your life, and you don't go to KSC to see the Atlantis the way that it is, then you're freaking crazy.
You're missing
because
something
you will
awesome.
not see the space shuttle like it is.
She's gonna knock off my computer.
She's fine. She'll get her spot there. So you go into there's this huge building, and out front are the fuel tank and the two the stage
1 rockets and fuel
rockets and the fuel tank that the space shuttle would attach to, and so you go like underneath those, in between the two rockets, underneath the fuel tank, and into the building, and then
and you go to see a show first.
So yeah, they put you into this.
Just don't opt out of it. Whatever you do, do not opt out of that show.
Why would anyone opt out of it?
People did. You didn't see that?
What?
They were like, I don't want to go see the show. I just want to go see the shuttle.
Why would you do that? The whole point of the show is to show off the show. Okay. Well, anyway.
That's what they did, though.
So
I watched them.
They push you into this room where it's like a dome theater.
Yeah,
almost.
And there's screens all around.
So like the whole room is a screen, and it's in the shape of a dome, right? Kind of. With a big opening at the end, big flat opening at the end.
Yeah.
So they show you the different things of, it taking off, and then it shows you like views from the cockpit when it's in orbit and things like that. And cool shit.
Oh yeah, it was very patriotic, and at the same time it was just
beautiful. It made you proud to be an American. Yeah, really did.
Like proud to be an American, and even more proud to be a Floridian. Mm-hmm. Like that was strange for me to be like.
Oh, it made you.
It was
oddly patriotic. Yeah, I really felt. I
was like, I'm actually proud to be Floridian because this is where it all took place.
Yeah, and
I know that sounds really strange.
Yeah, nowhere else can you see a space shuttle where it freaking took off.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Texas.
It never took off from
Never
Texas.
took off?
No. They don't take off. They land in Texas. Oh, they land in
Texas.
Yeah.
That's right.
They can land anywhere.
Yeah.
But they land at KSC and they land in Texas.
Yeah.
So it all depends on when they had to come in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So because they have to get the orbit. They have to come out of orbit in a certain
way to come in safely.
Mm-hmm.
But yes.
Yeah, because they had a thing where if something went wrong, they could detach from the fuel tank, then they could land in Italy.
That was it, yeah.
So they had a.
For some reason, I was feeling like. I don't know. I was like, for some reason, I thought they could take off in Texas, and once you said they could, I was like, yeah, they can't. Why the hell did I say that?
Yeah, they have the VAB is only in.
Yeah, is only in Central Florida.
Yeah.
So
the vehicle assembly building, which is where they put together the rocket.
Yeah.
Which I thought was built for the space shuttle, and it was actually built for the Apollo.
Yeah,
Apollo missions.
Yeah.
To build the Saturn V.
It's old.
So I was like, man, it blew my mind, and I was like, well, duh, of course, that's when they built it. After I thought about it, I was like, how the hell would they have put that rocket together? But
yeah,
I digress. But
still makes you proud.
you get in this dome area, and they show off the video, and you're like, oh, that's cool. And then they're like, and then they say, oh, something about, oh, we have reached orbit, and all that crap.
Yeah.
And then behind the wall, it drops.
Mm-hmm.
It drops the regular like white that like blocks it, and then you can see through the end of the dorm. The dome there. And through it, you see Atlantis, and it looks like it's in flight.
Yes.
Because they have it at an angle. It's about, you think, a 45-degree angle?
Yeah.
Tilted 45. tilted to the left?
Yeah.
Something like that.
So that you can see the bottom.
And so it is literally suspended in this room as if it's in flight.
And it's so pretty.
When you see that piece drop and you see Atlantis through that scrim looking material,
they say "Welcome home, Atlantis."
They're like "Welcome home, Atlantis," and I'm like, holy crap!
Like, you can't even express the feeling.
It blew my mind. It literally blew my mind. I had never seen anything like that.
Yeah.
Ever.
It was just so perfect.
It was perfect. And then so of course and then they open the scrim thing open and then you can walk out into
and you go do that stuff.
And then there's a person stationed there to answer like any of your space shuttle questions
because he actually worked on it.
Because he was he like worked it wasn't like the flight computer or things like that.
No.
He actually worked on maintenance
of the shuttle.
Yeah, which is very cool. I mean, I have two friends that actually worked on the flight computer.
Yeah.
But, they wrote the code.
Yeah, I know.
But
I found that very cool.
But so he answered all the questions, and then so the other cool thing was that they had the payload doors open.
Yeah, so you could actually see inside.
On the shuttle. So you'd actually see the full payload area open with the two
arms,
robotic arms that they had, which were made by our friends from the North Canada. And then they had a bunch of touchscreen modules up at the top
like
where you could you could move around. They had like 360-degree views of the inside of the living quarters and the inside of it. And they also had a cockpit. They built a cockpit.
Yeah. They also
they like cut it in half and built a pathway through the middle of it, and then they just put it on the floor.
Yeah.
And you could see what the cockpit actually looked like, which was way cool.
You also they also had that interactive thing where you could move your arms and do work.
Yeah, you could go on a spacewalk. It was kind of like a Kinect where it followed your.
Yeah, it was close, but
followed your arms.
It didn't work as well.
Yeah, it didn't work well at all.
Like, I kept having to fight with it. Like, thankfully I got a really good score on it, but I was like.
Yeah, so you could go on a spacewalk is what you could do.
I got very annoyed with it very quickly.
But
poor Marion couldn't get it done.
Because she was too short.
Yeah.
You had to be like a certain height in order for it to work. Right?
And it didn't even work on me properly because I was too short.
And then so after you go around there, then they had a crawl space where
Dad and Marion went through it, and Marion almost had a panic attack, and that was bad.
Yeah, because it was see-through. You could see all the way down.
You could see all the way down. We were on the third floor of this complex. You could see all the way down to the first.
Yeah.
Which I was sitting there like, have fun. I know when I can't do something. I know I can't do that. Have fun. I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah. The slide.
And then you go around and you see there was a slide there for kids to go down, and it was like
it was for both kids and adult.
It was kind of,
but I wasn't.
It was to simulate the speed that you get when you're coming in for
landing
in the space shuttle. So it's like, okay.
It was cute, but I wasn't gonna take the.
They had like a little sound, like a sonic
boom
and things like that, and I was like, that's so cute. And then after that, they had it to where you walked down a ramp, right?
Yeah.
And then
Marion
on the. Yeah, she fell down the ramp. That was funny.
It was very slippery floors, and she only had one shoe on.
Yeah, because she didn't put it on after taking them off to go down the slide. And so...
I laughed my ass off.
What was I going to say? On the walls were all of the patches of the Atlantis missions.
And one of those was wrong.
One of them was wrong. Yeah, it said June.
It had the landing date and not the takeoff date.
Yeah, no, it didn't have the landing date.
No, because that was even wrong, too.
Yeah. So the takeoff date was June 27th, and they had on the wall June 29th. So Sarah was like, "Oh my god,
I was like, "Oh my god, I need to get that birthday.
I need to get that patch or whatever."
I need to get this patch for my birthday.
Yeah, they didn't have it because it was actually took off on the 27th.
Yeah, so we actually asked them to look it up, and they were like, "Oh, maybe we need to fix that."
Yeah.
Hopefully, it did get fixed. Like, I find that very interesting that it.
The thing's been open for a year.
And no one noticed it.
And no one's noticed. So, but I don't think anyone was looking at it like, "Oh, it's my birthday. Oh, I got my thing." So.
Yeah, no one was like me flipping out because it's my birthday.
But underneath, so on the first level there, when you go down the
they have the stores, of course. They have the launch experience.
Mm-hmm. But I'm talking about the thing Memorial. To the right. Yeah. So.
Which was very hard.
Yeah. They actually have a memorial set up from Challenger and Columbia, the two space shuttles that that did not make it back home. Challenger, of course, blew up on takeoff.
Yes.
And Columbia
blew up
on the way back in. So they had it was a hallway, and on both sides of the hallway were things that were close to the
close to or owned by the astronauts.
No, it's like a close possession of theirs.
Yes.
You know, something that
meant a lot
to them, or like got them into wanting to be an astronaut, something like that. And so they had, personal effects from each of the
astronauts.
Each of the astronauts that
including the teacher that went up.
Yeah.
The civilian teacher that went up.
Mm-hmm. So he was on Columbia, right? The teacher?
That was the one that we saw.
Was on Columbia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The teacher was on the one we saw.
Right. Which was Columbia.
Which I keep getting mixed up.
And then so as you walk through the hallway, you look to the right, and they actually have pieces of the pieces of the two from space shuttles.
Yeah.
Of like the only pieces
surviving pieces from the crash.
So there was only one piece that survived from Challenger and one that survived from Columbia. The one from Challenger was a side panel.
Yeah.
A side panel of the shuttle, and the only thing that survived from Columbia was the
cockpit.
I don't know exactly what you call that, but
it was
it's the part where the windows, the glass goes into. So the frame of
the windows the steel frame.
And so they had it in some dark lighting,
with a single light over it.
With a single light over it, and just oh man. Oh, it was really hard.
Yeah.
Really, really hard.
It was insane how much it affected us.
Yeah. And
especially since
I remember
Columbia.
when Columbia blew up on when it came back. But
I remember being in class.
The
teacher had it on the TV.
Mm-hmm.
And it was there, and then it was gone.
Yeah.
And we all started to freak out about what happened.
Mm-hmm. The coolest part about that is, and I believe that, and I think that this is why Atlantis is at KSC.
Mm-hmm.
Because Atlantis was the return to flight mission.
Yes.
After Columbia.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm really, really glad that they have Atlantis and not anyone else, because I don't think that space shuttle belongs anywhere else but at Kennedy Space Center.
Yeah. It has too much emotional.
It because
to the people.
The return to flight after Columbia. The way that Challenger blew up was it was during takeoff, and there's a part on takeoff to where it hits a certain part of the atmosphere, at which point they have to
separate.
No, they have to what do they say? They have to down the thrusters to 75%.
Yeah.
In order for the space shuttle to not get crushed
Yes.
from the forces. And they said that is actually the most dangerous part of takeoff.
Yeah.
We learned all this during the
while being there.
Yeah, and so but they said that is actually the part where Challenger blew up.
Yeah.
Is that they didn't calculate it correctly.
And they messed up that one time.
And it blew up at that point. Whereas they knew for a fact, there was, where that was just a calculation error.
Yeah.
Something like that, where they say, oh well, we can make this damn sure that this isn't going to happen again.
Yeah.
Whereas Columbia
was a freak accident.
It just blew up, and no one knew what happened to it. And
we now do.
They eventually figured out that
one of the major panels,
when it took off, one of the foam tiles got broken.
They were damaged.
They were damaged on takeoff, and then so when they came back in, it just burnt up.
It burnt up, which then got it to the module, and that was it.
But yeah. Oof. Tough stuff.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. I think that it was good for Atlantis to be there.
Yes.
I think that it really showed.
It meant so much to not just America, but to the people of Florida, because KSC was a major place of income. And it still is. But it was such a major place of income, and it was such a signature of Florida. And the fact that we had a horrible accident like that, where we thought, this is it. We're not going back into space. And then Atlantis comes back, and we finally had hope again. Because I remember that
well,
flight back
those same
space.
Well, those same people were, probably, really upset in 2011 when they killed the program completely.
Like myself.
But
I had a shit fit.
But the good thing is that and what they don't tell you is that it's not like NASA's not working on something.
They are working.
They have built a brand new rocket system, a new they call it SLS.
Yes.
Is what they were calling it, which is like Space Launch System, I think is what they called it. And so they have designed a long-term space module to go on the top of this rocket.
Yes.
That is kind of shaped like an Apollo.
That's what I thought too. I was like, so we're going back to Apollo.
Yeah, it was shaped like an Apollo module.
Which made me wonder, are we going to have reusable ships again, ever?
Yeah, Orion is.
Orion is?
Yeah, Orion's a reusable ship.
Okay.
Well, the pod is.
The pod, not anything else.
Yeah, they're going back. Well, I think that they...
Which?
Look, I think that... I don't know.
I don't know how
I don't know what they're doing. And, well, a lot of it is, because SpaceX is now there, Boeing is now there. There's a lot of private money going into that now, and so...
it's different
They
now.
have a lot more things that they can do now, so... At any rate. But... Seriously, guys, if you're ever in Central Florida and you've got a day,
we didn't talk about the experience.
Over to KSC.
The launch experience.
It was cute. It was like
cute. I will warn you guys.
It's one of those simulators, kind of like Star Tours.
Yes.
Or the Great Arctic one.
Yes.
At SeaWorld.
They do hype it up even more than normal.
What do you mean?
They hyped that damn shit
up.
Yeah,
they hyped it up like, this is what it's going to feel like to really be in a space shuttle. And like...
They're like, the astronauts say this is real. And
I
honestly sat there. I'm like, if this is real, I can do this.
But...
I was like, this sounds cool. Let's do it. Launch me.
It was just a big hype train. But still, Mission Space is way more...
It's so much
like a real liftoff than that could ever be. But it was cool because it was
cute, and
they made it off.
They do lean you back.
Yeah, they made it off as if they said, "Oh well, you're in this payload car, that we've built for civilians, and
to take up into space as.
So they say that they put you in the payload carrier of the space shuttle, and then they take it off. And then at the very end, when you're in space, the payload doors open above you,
and you can see.
And
space.
then you can see the Earth.
It looks so cool.
So it looks really cool, and I would really, I mean, if you're there, definitely do it.
Tell them we got my grandma on.
Yeah, we got we got her arthritic grandmother on there. So seriously, if she can do it, all of you can do it.
Yeah, it was really cute though, because she's like, I did it. Would I do it again? No. She's like, that was fun though.
And I'd go back just to see Atlantis.
Yeah,
it was freaking fantastic.
Yeah. I really enjoyed
And I liked seeing the Saturn V now that I'm an adult and actually understood like what was going on. When I saw it in 8th grade, I was still a little shit, so probably didn't care
not as much.
Or anything.
I cared because I wanted to be an astronaut.
Mm-hmm.
And then I found out that you have.
But then I looked at it and I was like,
pod.
oh, okay, so these are actually fuel tanks and
Yeah.
thing. I actually understood a little bit more, but anyway.
I wanted to be an astronaut, and then I understood they lock you into a thing, lock you into a tiny ass room, and strap you in. And I went, claustrophobia, no.
Anyway.
And plus, I got you.
It's very true. Very true.
I don't think you'd be able to do okay with me doing that job.
No, that's. I don't normally stand in your way, and that would be the one thing. Yeah.
If I wanted to be an astronaut.
Yeah, I would absolutely stand in your way at that point. I'm sorry, my love.
I can't ever be an astronaut.
Mm-mm.
Damn it.
Not doing it.
I don't think it's a good idea with claustrophobia anyway.
I love you though.
I love you too.
Okay. It was episode 29 of the Prolonged Engagement Show.
We didn't say anything about
what?
Meeting the astronaut.
Oh, Jim Jones?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there was a
my parents surprised me for part of my birthday because, like I said, I wanted to be an astronaut as a kid.
So we did the dine with an astronaut.
Except
the food wasn't all that great.
It was.
It was.
Desserts were fantastic.
Yeah, the desserts were really good. I have to say, I have to give that to KFC. The desserts were really good.
The desserts were really good, and they had Tang.
They did have Tang,
so
which
how
is
can you be
a normal
mad?
astronaut thing. So.
How can you be mad when you have Tang?
But then we got to take a picture with Jim Jones.
Yeah, I have it signed.
And then afterwards, like 4 o'clock or whatever, you could go up there and get it signed by Jim Jones or whatever. So we ended up doing that, but
he was cool.
It was a cool day.
Yeah,
I liked it.
You ready?
I liked it a lot. Yeah. Like I said, this was episode 29 of the Prolonged Engagement Show. My name is Kyle.
And I'm Sarah.
And you can follow us on Twitter. I'm at Sound Overlord.
And I'm at the Dark Raven 13.
Follow the show at TPE_show, Facebook.com/The Prolonged Engagement. Go to YouTube.com/The Prolonged Engagement Show. You can find us on YouTube and on iTunes in your podcast app. Go to theprolongedengagement.com for everything. You got a question, it probably won't get answered there, but it's your best bet. You can send us an email on there, though.
Oh, yeah. If you actually want us to say something or do a shout-out, please just leave a comment in the section below.
Tweet us. You can put it in the comments. All that good stuff.
Tweet it.
Yeah, cool.
I
think we have 15 subscribers now, which is nice.
We do?
Yeah, I think it's 15.
Holy shit.
If it's not 15, it's 14.
You guys didn't even tell us what to do for 10.
Yeah.
And I'm still angry.
I'm putting it down. I'm saying nothing now.
Please, guys, I really want to see him suffer in some way.
Why? That's just mean.
Because I love you.
Throwing us all in the Potomac. No. I'll see you guys tomorrow.